Good morning, brothers and sisters. Doug White down here in Alabama. Hadn't made any videos last few days because I ran out of space on my phone. And I went and got one of those little cards. And I'm going to see if it works. So if this video goes out, well, I know that it's working. Anyway, so let me know, somebody out there, if it got to you. So I'm just going to pick a subject here and expound on it a little bit. Try to run up some time and see if a test run to see if my phone is working. But anyway, I'd like to bring this thing about God hiding himself from wise people. On people that think themselves to be wise, thinking themselves to be wise, like it says over in Romans 1 and 22. They think themselves to be wise. And how? I remember when we were sharing the flat Earth up there on the college campus, that it was the kids that were interested. The professors, they would walk by with their head in the air and they knew it all. They'd walk right on by. They'd walk right on by the truth, because they thought themselves to be wise. But anyway, I did a little activism there down there at our college, on the college campus. And it was always the young people, freshmen and people, just young people, that were interested in the possibility that they've been lied to from a child. And those were the only people that were listening. But the wise men, it was like you just wasting your time. He's hidden himself from the wise. So anyway, in Matthew 11:25, I think that's where I got this. And at that time, Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O God, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. That's Matthew 11:25. And how true that is, brothers and sisters. He reveals his truth unto babes. In fact, it's just the opposite of what you would think, brothers and sisters. Not that God can't use people with higher degrees, not that they can't, but usually when they start getting proud, I'm talking about God's people. I'm not talking about over there in over there in Romans 1 and 22. That's talking about God's people. He's talking to the Roman people. He hides himself from people that think themselves to be wise, and he reveals himself to the lowly in heart, brothers and sisters. That's the message that I'm going to use on this little video to run up some time to see if my phone is working. See if my phone is working. But yeah, we were there, and the kids would stop. We had this little sign. And the kids would stop, and we'd share the truth from God's word that the earth was at rest. And they said, "Oh yeah, I'm interested in that." Yeah, you mean the Bible says that? And then we'd point out to them over there in Joshua, and they were all ears, brothers and sisters. Not all of them, not everybody is proud. So pride, God just, it's like he puts up that you can't see. If somebody's proud, then there's going to be less and less truth that he'll reveal to them. So the best way to do is get on your knees and say, I don't know nothing. Unless you show me, I can't do a thing. Well, that's the best way to be. And so that's where I go when I look for truth. If somebody's got a proud spirit about them and they know it all, I flip on through the channel and say, well, let me get over here to somebody that don't know it all. And maybe God is showing them a little bit of truth. But that's what I was screaming this morning, afternoon now. I'm looking for another place that I wanted to bring up. Well, while I'm just talking about trivial things, I was at the store to get another little card, storage card, and that thing was up close to $80, and I'm not going to tell you what store, but the young fellow there said, "Well, you can get one at the other store out here you can get one for $15, and I'll come over here and I'll put it in for you." So a shout out to this brother that saved me about $60 on that SIM card to do this little video if it works. What it does is gives you extra space. I like to spend $70, but anyway, I went and got it at the other store, real cheap, and then brought it back and he put it in for me. Now I know how to do it, But anyway, what I was going to say is on this Philippians 4:3. I was looking for a place, it's got it talks about the Lamb's Book of Life over in Revelation, but I was looking one for up there in the New Testament somewhere about the Book of Life, and it says over here, and here's a place in Philippians that it mentions the Book of Life. Names written in the Book of Life. It says, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the Book of Life. Talking about people that were laboring in the gospel there in Philippians, telling people about Jesus. And it says, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the Book of Life. So, brothers and sisters, there's this book of life, brothers and sisters, that people knew about, that you can't really put your name in it, and God already has it. And I think that's one of the keys to a great peace to the child of grace, and it undoes all these trickery that this bait and switch gospel that they have out there on every street corner. Because there's a book, brothers and sisters, that talked about in the New Testament that God has that he even before the foundation of the world. And to me it's great psychology because there's nothing really that you can do about it. It's when you think about, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong, I did this over here, I've sinned here, sinned there, and I'm missing the mark. Then you think to yourself, well, I've blown it now. Then you think back, no, the name's already there. There's nothing you can do about it. And for some reason, that relaxes my mind because I know there's nothing I can do about it. If it's either it's there or it's not there. And we'll find out when the roll is called up yonder. We'll find out when the manifest is read off. I'm not saying my name's in it, but I'm saying one thing. It brings great peace to know that you don't have to do nothing to get it written in there, brothers and sisters. It's all 100% God's doing. But anyway, that's over in Philippians 4:3. I was looking for a place where it said, when it mentioned the Book of Life, besides in the Book of Revelation, whose names are in the Book of Life. So they're already up there in this book, and they knew about it in the first century, and it was mentioned several times in the New Testament. The Book of Life, whose names were not written. Either they're there or they're not there. That's what, and if I'm just killing time to make this video, but I hope they're putting something in it that's worthwhile. Well, like I say, over there it says in Matthew 1:25, he hides himself from the wise people, but he reveals himself to the lowly in heart of his people, brothers and sisters. But there's sad to say, there's lots of God's people out there that are proud and arrogant, and that he hides himself from. He hides his truth. He hides the truth of the 100% grace. These people always put something to do on the end of it. There's either two type people. There's the wolves out there, and there's God's people who've been misled, that know not what they do. They know not. They just order followers. They never think with their head. They just follow the orders of the one above them, and that's what Jesus calls. They know not know what they do. So Jesus, he called them Leave them alone. They know not what they do. Stephen did the same thing when he said, don't lay this sin to their charge, because there's lots of God's people that are out there that are carrying out the works, that are doing the works of. But anyway, in the final analysis, though, God is working all these things for the good. You know, God is working everything, even the evil deeds of men. He's working that out for His good, for His people, brothers and sisters. God's not going to lose one of all the great multitude that the Father gave Him. So that's what I'm screaming down here in Alabama this morning as I'm coming up on the end of my little time thing right here. And I'm gonna, in just a minute, I'm gonna cut it off and put it up there and see if it flies. And if it flies, that means that little fella down there at the phone shop helped me out a ton. But anyway, that's just the way God moves. You know, He has people everywhere. You know, that if you can just do something that pleases God in every day, that makes this world a little bit better place to live in. That's what keeps me going. You listen to the TV, you want to give up, but then you go out in the world, you find that God has people, nice people, you know, people that are nice to you, that are His people, brothers and sisters, that make this world worth living in. Jesus said, we're the light of the world, brothers and sisters. Go spread it around. The light of the world, you know. They're spreading around doom and gloom on every street going, you know. The whole world is poison. Everybody in it's poison. And you can't go nowhere. Don't even breathe, because everything, you know, everything's poison. No, brothers and sisters. That makes life not worth living if you can't be free and have liberty. God's people have to be free. They might go along with it for a while, but after a while, you know, they need their liberty. Like, what's his name? I don't know who he was, but give me liberty or give me death. But anyway, God hides Himself from the wise people. You know, He hides Himself from them. He reveals Himself to the lowly in heart, to the babes, brothers and sisters. And I guess I'll start winding this one up here and try to get back with you here in just a little bit. This was just a trial run. I hope I said something in it that was that it meant something. And but if you got this video, put it in. If somebody out there, put it in the comment section that you got it, that it came through, and the full 14 minutes. I'm gonna run it up to 14 minutes, and let me know that you got it. And maybe I'll make another one that's when I say something in it, you know. But appreciate all the comments people put out there, and I'm doing real good today. I got my coffee. I'll go back in there and get some more in just a minute now. And but anyway, when it hit 14 minutes, I'm gonna say peace and love to everybody out there. From this old boy that never grew up down here in Alabama. God bless all of you. I'll try to get back here later with you. Peace and love.